Let me pray to God Almighty, my spiritual guru, and my parents, and I begin. In the previous video, we addressed the issues facing the children that they are not able to handle failures, and sometimes they are driven to the extreme step of committing suicide. Now, let's see where all a parental support could help to avoid such things and teach these children the right way to live. First of all, today, the concept of a joint family is almost gone. It's only supposed to be a nuclear family. In fact, one person was telling me that if the husband and wife are together, that itself is a joint family today. So that means the children lose the benefit of the grandparents. And grandparents were very useful in the children's life because I still remember whenever I used to scold my son, he will rush to my father. And my father will first tell him, "What happened?" "No, my dad scolded me for this." "Don't worry, he was worse than you. You are a lot better." So he used to feel very comfortable with him. But after a few minutes, he'll slowly tell him, "But whatever said and done, what you did is wrong, isn't it?" "Yes, Tata, I think what I did is wrong." "Yeah. So go tell your dad sorry and just forget the whole thing. That's all." So that kind of a support the children used to get from the grandparents, the love and affection, and they know the way to put things across to these children because most of the times as parents we are driven by emotions. So that is missing. So if you take today's child, it doesn't have grandparents. Same way, if both the father and mother are working, they don't have parents as well because both of them don't have the time for them. That's very important. They both are so busy, they come back home so late and tired, and they hardly have any time to listen to their children. That's very important because the child every day has something to share with the parents. When I used to address the first years in dental college, I used to tell the parents, at 4 o'clock in the evening, please leave everything you're doing and allot 10 minutes to your child. If she is in the hostel, make a call. If she is coming home, receive her. They always have something to share with you. It may be a hurt, what happened that day in the class, or it may be an appreciation which they want to share. It may be an achievement, what they want to share it with everybody. But if you do not communicate to them and receive it the right way, then they don't have a parent to go to. And they may even have somewhere a problem for which they need your assistance. If you are not available, they go somewhere else to take that assistance. And that is an unguided, may be correct, may not be correct source. So, the time is very important. It's like I always used to refer to if you have a dog at home. When you come back home, what does the dog do? It just falls on you. It plays with you, it pushes you down, it jumps, everything. It does it for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Then it goes and does its work on its own. Like how the children are. They want to see you. The whole day they have not seen you. The minute they see you, they have so much love and affection and they have so much to share. If you spend half an hour a day with them at that time, then after that they go and mind their own business. And when I was a busy practitioner, one day one psychiatrist told me, "Doctor, I know you are very ambitious, you want to come up in life, everything, but you must also know you have 2 small children at home. You leave the house before they get up and reach the house after they go to sleep. Only now you can connect to them because once they grow up, they have their own sets of friends and you are an intrusion." So that day, it looked like somebody hit me in the head with a hammer. So I stopped working late and I used to be home max by 8:45, 9. So the time what you spend for your children is very important. That's one. Number two, the amount of pressure what we apply to our children, that's very difficult. Because unless we teach them how to handle pressure, there's no point in pressurizing them. Suppose, imagine a scene. Your son or a daughter comes home with a test mark and says they've scored 98 marks in mathematics. So what is the first thing that we do? We only say, what happened to those 2 marks? Where did you make that silly mistake? Because you should understand that getting 98 percentage is not a joke. That needs a lot of effort from the child. First, appreciate the child for having scored 98%. Then, slowly we can think of where they missed out. But if you really ask me, if a child who scores 98% also knows she has missed out 2% on some silly mistake, we need not be a Columbus to discover that. They already know it. And they probably already have a plan how to correct it. Be only supportive. That's more important. And tell them that such failures will occur. But you can always overcome. You can analyze and overcome, but appreciate 98% for the effort taken by the child. That's more important. First, the child should feel good for having secured that mark. Otherwise, when you take 100% marks also, there is no satisfaction. There is no happiness. There is only a thing that, okay, everybody expected 100%. Wow, there's a big relief. I got 100%. The child should enjoy and relish every achievement they do. So, make that correction. I still remember a joke when one father was scolding the boy. He said, at your age, Jawaharlal Nehru got 100 out of 100. He said, yes, I know, but at your age, he was the Prime Minister of India. So, it's easy to advise about this thing. But first of all, as a parent, if you want to tell any of the children today, you must know to talk their language. That's very, very, very important. Go with them first. Talk their language. Then slowly bring them to your side. That's very, very important. So, I always used to say, even if you take the Indian Criminal Code, the CRPC, if you are less than 16 years or 17 years, you are never punished. Even if you commit a murder, you are sent to a correctional facility, not to the jail. That means the law itself doesn't want you to be punished, but only to be corrected. So, there are no punitive measures, but only corrective measures. So, as a parent also, we must always think of that. There should not be any punitive measures for the mistakes what the child does. Our thing should only be a corrective measure, pointing out to them what they did is wrong and why, and how to correct it. It's very easy. Everybody makes mistakes. That's what you should make the child understand. Because the parents are working, because they can't give their time, they give their money. That's the second big mistake. In fact, I remember a time when my younger son asked me, I want you to buy me a Lego toy or something, which was at that time costing around 5,000 rupees. I said, let me think about it. Then I went and bought one, the undial, and gave it to him and said, every day you take 100 rupees from me and put it there. And then it will grow up to some amount, which is equivalent to buying that toy. That time we will buy. Then he said, how long will it take? I don't know. You start the process today, but you should be very strict in asking for the money. But whenever you ask, I'll give you the money. Then it took almost a month for him to get that thing. I told him, you must understand that between our wish to get something and actually getting it, that's a small time gap. We have to work for it. It's the first lesson you have to teach them. Most important, the value of money should be taught. If you don't do that, then, the motivation to work and earn money in their life goes. If you provide, then it's not good parenting. And most importantly, the children should be brought up by giving responsibilities. They should know they should have responsibilities. Tell them to one day pay the electricity bill or the corporation tax or something else so they get to know everything. Not that somebody always does. You may be rich, you may be a big man, you may have 10 fellows to work for you, but still make them do things once in a while. That's very, very important. And whenever they fail, tell them it's okay. Failures occur. That's what you should teach a child. That there will not always be a success. There will not always be you getting whatever you wanted. There will be failures and there will be things which you can't get. You should know how to handle that. When they don't, then there is a problem. Suppose they want a bike, explain to them why you can't get a bike. You may afford it, that's a different issue. But the reason why you don't want to give at that stage. So it's very, very important. They may get angry, it doesn't matter. But they get to know that not everything will happen the minute they ask. That's not how life is. So it's not easy to be a parent. That's what I've realized. I'm not telling that I did all the right things in being a parent. I've made mistakes. But I realized through my experience that it's not easy to be a parent. And there is no parenting guide available at that time. So we did what we thought is right. But I want all of you to think twice and see, because something goes wrong with our child, then if it is a little too much to correct, it's a lifelong liability. So please take that little care, take parenting a little seriously, and then try to teach your children everything. Thank you.